Hey everyone, I'm super excited to present our next candidate for Project 1000 Hire. We have coming all the way from Miami, my dear friend Santiago. So first of all, Santiago, thank you so much for joining us on this project today.
No, thank you. I think this is an amazing initiative that you're doing, and happy to be here.
So thank you. So Santiago, why don't you give us a brief history about yourself? Where you're from, and all that.
Sure. Well, I was born and raised in Mexico. I think, as you know, I'm a little bit of a mutt. I think my family is from literally all over the place. So I'm fortunate enough to have family basically everywhere. But as I mentioned, born and raised in Mexico, got my bachelor's in the US, went back home, worked there for a bit. And then 2 or 3 years ago, came back to the US to do my bachelor's out on the West Coast, my master's out on the West Coast, and then found a great job opportunity out here in Miami. And I figured it'd be a great way to leverage my Latin background and US education and make something happen.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And I'm assuming Miami right now is absolutely beautiful. Nothing, people are at the beaches and partying all the way. Yeah.
Exactly. No parties. Definitely not parties. Beaches are empty, but we still have the weather. So we have that going on for us.
Right. So why don't you tell us about a personal project or accomplishment that you've worked on, accomplished, or are proud of?
Sure. On the personal side, I think I had two great examples, or two examples I'm fond of. One, it's on my past, and one's more of my present. On the past, I really like formal menswear. I like jackets. I like bespoke jackets and that kind of thing. And I was trying to find back in Mexico about 5, 6 years ago a very specific type of jacket. And I couldn't get it anywhere. So I started figuring out, what am I going to do? How am I going to get it? I couldn't spend like 5,000 euros to go to Europe and get it. And I didn't have that kind of money. So I started researching about tailoring and how to put together these kind of things. And I knew I was never gonna be able to do it myself. So I also started figuring where are the tailors in Mexico that have the chops where I can tell them and speak their language, which I was learning, to get them to do what I wanted. And eventually that ended up becoming like a venture business with my brother and another friend, where we started doing prototypes and trying to get like a very Italian Neapolitan jacket done in Mexico for us that we would sell cheap to our friends and to whoever. I created the brand, the whole thing. Sadly, it took a lot longer than I thought it would. I ended up learning to do a lot of things myself, but it just took way too long to actually set up as a business, and I had to live to the masters. But a bunch of my prototypes I still work to this day, and I thought that I'm really proud about that because there was something I wanted to do, but I didn't have the means to do it or the tools to do it or the people to get it done. And I just hunkered down, learned how to do it myself, and eventually thought I could actually make a business out of it.
Wow.
And so that's in my past. And in my present, I am a dual major. One of my majors was music. And I felt like because of business and work, I really haven't been paying attention to music at all. And it's one of my passions. So a couple of months back, 5, 6 months ago, when I came out to Miami, I figured out I'm going to start doing music again. I want to start playing again, whether it's one of the old instruments I had or pick up something new. And when I got laid off, obviously my cash flow got severely hit. So instead of buying a cool instrument or a very expensive instrument, I actually ordered a harmonica blues harp from Amazon, and I've been learning how to play blues harp.
Why don't you give us like a quick, 10-second, play?
I'm definitely not there yet, man. I'm not self-confident.
So, the question obviously is, what can you not do? Obviously you can start, you're a micro entrepreneur, you learn how to play music. So, and these are your personal accomplishments. Why don't you take us through a challenging time that you overcame?
Oh man, what I cannot do. We need a very long interview for me to feel all of that. So something that I overcame. In fact, I guess this was a challenge. It required me to stand up and grow up really fast in many ways, and I did overcome it. And it's more about character than actually anything else. Straight after high school, 10, 15 years ago now or more, I went straight into law school. Mexico's a little bit different. You don't go to college and then law school. You go straight into law school, right? And after a couple of years, I was getting good grades and everything. But I just didn't see myself as a lawyer for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years of my life, right? And I knew what I wanted to do, which was focus on business, but also on music. It was going to be a little bit of challenging, and I couldn't do it in Mexico. So without anyone knowing, I applied to a college in the US, which was heavily geared towards music as well. And besides the business part, I had to audition for music and audition with an instrument and all of that. No one knew. This was very, very secret at the time. And the minute I got in, I just sat down with my parents and I told them, this is it. I'm leaving. I'm going to go do this. And keep in mind that no one in Mexico leaves their family's home to go to college or even to just live by themselves when they're 18. So obviously my parents were like, no, you're not doing this. And if you do it, you do not have our support. Then society was like, you're going to do music. What are you going to do with your life? You're going to play guitar on the streets. And I was like, what the hell's wrong here? So in the end, everything worked out. I did leave. My parents saw how happy I was after I was a couple of months there, and they supported me tremendously. They've been nothing but great support for me. But at the time, I was a 20, 21-year-old kid with so many insecurities and so many fears about actually leaving the comfort of where I grew up, moving to a completely different country, to a city that I've never been at, and getting to a university where everyone was just so good at what they were doing that I remember one of the first thoughts I had when I got there is like, what am I doing here? I do not belong. I'm nowhere in the league with these people, right? So it was insecurity and it was fear, and just acknowledging that I was really bad at what I was doing at the time. So I guess the challenge there was, one, actually owning up and saying like, I'm going to do it. This is my passion. This is what I want. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to go and work at it. And then getting there and realizing that I'm completely subpar. And instead of just going back home with a tail between my legs, saying like, screw it, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to put the effort in, and I'm going to do it well. And I ended up actually graduating summa cum laude from both majors. So I think it worked.
That's absolutely amazing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what are you looking for in your next company? I can already tell you, what they're going to get. They're getting someone that's able to approach and adversity with courage and able to overcome it. Someone that, is able to do multiple different things. But what are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to say on the business side, right? I got my MBA from Berkeley a couple of years ago. I graduated there, and I was then on the business side, something a little bit more maybe techy, but as we've talked, I'm a little bit industry agnostic. I guess I'd like to break that down in two ways: what I want to do and what I want to find. Obviously, there's a mix there. I'd love to find a mentor. I've for most of my business life, for most of my work life, I've just done things by myself, and I'd really like to have a mentor to just teach me the ropes of everything I've been missing. I know there's a better way to do things. I know there's a better way to grow. There's a better way to develop, and I'd love to someone to show me that way. And at the same time, I would absolutely love to find a place where I can just, I'm an ideas guy. I love ideas. I love challenging the status quo and seeing something and being like, yes, it's good, but it can be better, or it's wrong and we can do it better. And I just love thinking about ways to improve things, right? So if I can find myself in a place or a job or a role where I can just think about ways to make things better, even if it's completely out of left field and challenging the status quo or whatever we're going to call it, but a place that actually respects that and will encourage that, think differently, and then execute and apply it. And through that, create a positive impact on the business and hopefully a memorable impact also on the customer experience. Whether it's internal customer or external customer, it doesn't matter, right? Really, what I want to achieve with my life is to look back and know that I created immense life-changing impact on customers, whatever they look like.
Wow. Now that's absolutely incredible and very, very inspiring. You got me inspired also. But I want to wish you, Santiago, thank you so much for joining us on this project. And I want to wish you a lot of success and blessing. And we're going to do everything in our power to make sure and try to get as many opportunities flowing your way. So thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for your opportunity. This is amazing. And if there's anything I can do to help other people in my situation, please do let me know.
Sure.